All right. All right, all right, all right. Just so everybody knows, it's sun-kissed. Don't get excited. This says the Cerakote Ceramic Clear Coat. Allow the Cerakote Ceramic Clear Coat to dry for a minimum of 60 minutes before driving, or expose them to any moisture. So once I get the clear coat put on, they'll have to sit for at least an hour. At minimum is what it's saying. Yoink. All right. Sorry guys, just having to clear a couple of things. All right. got my, it says Tide, but it's just water. Put water in it because you're supposed to keep your lights nice and moist while you're doing the sanding part of this. It says non-uniform, so that means no circular motions. What's up, Chris? So it says to do it in a non-uniform way. So I'm assuming just kind of a scatter whatever, not circular motions. So, yeah. So I got my Tide water. And no, I don't drink it. So we're starting off with the red pads. The red pads are the 2000 grit. And then the gray pads, which is the last step, is 3000 grit. So that's where we are currently at. It says to do it anywhere between 2 to 3 minutes in a non-uniform pattern. So that's just scrubbing it around. I guess it's just so habit to. Oh, dinner was good. I had a chef salad. I added some bacon bits into it. And had some ham slices in it. Some little bit of cheese, not much, a little bit of cheese. Then I had one of those quick little heat up Angus burgers from Walmart. And then a half a jar of peaches and a whole jar of mandarin oranges. But it was good. The wife had spaghetti and meatballs with the first half jar of peaches. We watched that Dexter show for while we were eating too. So that's we always enjoy that. That's always fun. I hope these turn out well. I really do. Uh, guys can't really see what I'm doing here real well. I'm trying to. See if I can't figure out how to get you all better involved here. Yep, baby will be named after me. He'll be a junior. He'll have my first, middle, and last name. I appreciate that, Sway. Yeah, if you guys look close, you can kind of see some of the junk that it's pulling off. That's that very thin layer of the outer surface I was referring to earlier that these sanding pads will get off. For those of you just kind of tuning in here, you start out with the red disc, 2000 grit. Then you go to the gray disc, that's 3000 grit. And then you rinse it and then you dry it super, super well. Make sure it's bone dry. And then we'll have another pad that has the clear coat, protective coat that will go on top of the lens. What you unsending over there? Oh. You good? That elbow thing? Sore elbow? Oh, he's bumping around. A good espresso machine. Well, I know they have all kinds of them. It's a good question. I don't have an espresso machine. My sister did. I don't remember what the brand of it was, but I've had 2 coffee makers now that have been the Ninja, and I love it. The Ninja has been good, and they might very well make a espresso machine. I would probably just get on Google and maybe just type in Ninja espresso machine, because I know they make a lot of coffee related stuff, and the past 2 machines I've had, well, for coffee machines anyways, have been Ninja, and I loved them. And the Ninja machines are capable of, well, if you get the one that's capable of all kinds of stuff, it even sometimes will come with a little book and stuff to tell you how to make certain things. You could probably obviously find that on the internet as well, but mine has the capability of just boiling water or just giving you hot water by a little flip tab on the side. You can just straight get hot water from it without going through the whole coffee making process. It'll just straight boil water for you. And that's one of the reasons why I got it. So when baby was with us, I kind of did it ahead of time before we even knew we were pregnant, because we were trying to get pregnant for a while. Something that would have hot water quick and easy and on hand, so we didn't have to boil it on the stove or anything to make baby food and formula and whatnot. So it's got the capability of doing that, and it's got the capability of doing regular grounds, coffee grounds, or if you grind your own, obviously, because you just grind it anyways. It even came with the adapter for like K-cups. So if you just have the little coffee in the cups, you want to pop it in there and close the lid on it, you can do that too. And it's got a little ounce adjuster on it. So if you got a big cup, you can adjust it for bigger mugs, smaller mugs, half a mug. Or you could just have it still, make it in the pot. It comes with a big old pot still. What else does this thing do? I'm trying to remember. Oh, it's got a frother on the side, or something similar to a frother. It's a little thing that kicks off to the side. It's got a little spindle wheel on it. You hit a button on the top and it spins, and you can froth or mix up your drink, tea, things of that nature. But personally, that's what I use. But it's coming along great. This is just the first pad step. There's the other one to compare it to. You can still tell it's clearer than what it was. It's not yellow or as yellow, but it's still foggy, which is, they said that would be normal, because at this point, this is what I'm doing, is removing that. And it's already looking a lot better just with the 2000 grit. The next step for this will be the 3000 grit. But I'm going to go grab a couple of rags real quick to help dry my surface, to kind of give it a look at, to see how, make sure I'm getting it all even.
I did see somebody post yesterday when I was scrolling how much they love their Ninja espresso machines. I don't know if they still make them, but somebody had one.
So there is a Ninja espresso
Unless
machine.
it was like one of those AI things.
Lifesway was the one asking about it, or Zero, or as.
Yeah.
Both. But
when I was scrolling yesterday, somebody was posting how much they love it and said that like it's been the best thing and they're just crazy in love with it.
I figured they probably
So I'm not sure if they still make it, and if somebody has.
I
like,
figured they
an older
probably
one.
made one. I didn't know factually if they did or not, but I would only imagine because they make a coffee maker. So, Sway, to answer your question further, my other half did see on the Facebooks yesterday, I believe she said it was, that somebody said they loved their Ninja espresso machine. So they do make espresso machines.
And they posted a picture.
And they posted a picture of it, and they say they absolutely love it. So she said, "Hi, gorgeous wife." She says hi. So yeah, so to further answer that question, yes, they do have espresso machines, and apparently it's well loved. Actually, I need one more of these. I might be alright for the moment. Just kind of wanted to use this to get an idea of what we are looking at. She said, "Thank you both sincerely." She says she's excited now because the beautiful woman approves. She says she's excited because the beautiful woman approves.
Yeah, the machine looked cool when I seen the picture of it.
Yeah, she said it. She just said it looked really cool when she saw a picture of it.
And it was a girl that posted it, and she was in love with it.
And it was a girl who posted it, and she was in love with it. So I would imagine it would probably be a good call. Get this back in shot a little bit. And then for those of you who get a little too excited, it's just Sunkist watermelon. So don't freak out. This man don't drink, and he's proud of it. Your kiddos love that flavor. Nice to see you, Alex. I'm not gonna lie, it's not bad. I like it. I do. It's pretty good. Of course, I mean, the wife has given me the nickname of Drink Monster, so there's probably slim to nothing that I probably wouldn't like. Even if I had probably something in the moment that I maybe necessarily didn't care for or love or like, I probably would still finish it and probably just never get it again. But I don't think I've actually have had a drink or soda that I never liked. But just to kind of catch you up here, Alex, I have moved on to the sanding. Started with the red one, the 2000 grit, and then afterwards we'll be moving to the 3000 grit gray pad. And it says you only do it for 2 to 3 minutes. I've been at it a little bit longer than that, just to make sure I got a nice, good, even surface on here. And then I'll be moving to the other one. Kind of see here, well, it looks kind of re-clouded because it's starting to dry, and it's been wet sanding it too, so the magic happens with the wipe. Well, and maybe the 3000 grit. But I do have a backup solution in case this clear coat doesn't work well, or I don't see that it's hanging on as good as I need it. There's a spray on clear coat that I've seen. Actually, what was his name now? I'm trying to remember that guy that does a Toyota thing.
Oh, Scotty Kilmer.
Oh yeah, Scotty Kilmore. I watch a lot of his videos sometimes, and he did a headlight restoration on a Toyota Matrix, I believe it was. And maybe a few others, but I think the one he talked about was his Matrix.
That was his favorite.
And he said that's his favorite car, I guess. And he said he did this whole procedure to his, but then maybe once a year, twice a year or something. I forget, I'd have to go back and look, see what the brand was, but there's just this little clear coat spray on thing he does to it just to top it off, just to make it look good. But here, I'll spray the other sides and kind of evenly wet it so you can kind of see the better progress. They look a lot better. A lot better. When I first started sanding, there was you can see a lot of junk running off of it. So it's definitely doing the job. Yeah, they'll fog back up until that clear coat will go on, I'm pretty sure. And it probably won't look at. That's that wool wax that's sprayed underneath the vehicle. The bits and pieces of it underneath here has gotten splattered on, so you can see it on my side of my finger there, or back in front of my finger. Hers. Yep, it's a tattoo. Got one there, got one on my shoulder, and one on the back of my leg. I've got an eagle on my right shoulder. The eagle was actually my first tattoo. Oh, you're good. And no, I do not plan on getting any Glock tattoos. That will not happen in my book. I don't think anybody could pay me enough money to do that. Oh man, I just realized I'm leaving fingerprints on it from this stuff. The only thing that it recommended on here was that it says not to do these circular motions on it. So pretty much just randomize, the directions you're going from time to time, change it from one way to the other, back and forth. Best I can figure. But essentially right now is what I'm doing is scratching the surface very finely with a very fine grit paper to give the lens a new surface to seal and coat to get the clarity back. So essentially I am scratching the surface very minutely. I'll show you once I get this dried. You can still see it looks kind of cloudy and weird looking. And that's because of the sanding. You maybe can kind of see some of the lines there. But that's due to the sanding that's just resurfacing the lens. See, initially that's what you would think, but I think is what would happen if you did the circular motion like I was doing to clean it with those step one wipes. With doing circle patterns with this, I think it would leave obviously those funny circles in the surface of this. So when you go to seal it in, and when the light reflects on it, I think you'll see swirls, and I believe that's why they don't tell you to do circular pattern for doing this. It just says randomized pattern. So side diagonally, you just change it up, and that's what it's recommending to do here. You'll see I'll go one direction for a little bit, go all over it, and then I'll change it up and I'll start going another direction. And in this step, they highly recommend keeping the surface wet, because this is a wet sanding procedure. But typically on some things, you're not wrong there, Sway. On sanding things like maybe say you're refinishing wood or something, typically circular motion is the most common thing to do, or the best way to do it from what my understanding is. That's why they have like those orbital sanders. They kind of go in a circle, but like circular pattern all at the same time. But I think I'm pretty much done with this step on this one. I keep touching that one spot. It's one spot. Yeah, these microfibers, they work great for a lot of stuff. I've got a wet one to kind of help me wipe down the surface, and I have a dry one that helps me dry it so I can get a look at the progress. And then from here, we will move to the 3000 grit. Because I believe I'm going to do all I can do. I've already done all I can do with the 2000 grit. So we'll move on to the 3000 grit and finish it up. But yeah. This is where we are currently at. Completed the 2000 grit. Well, with them being microfibers, there is wrong surfaces you could say to use them on, such as rough surfaces, because of how they are designed. Like this, they will catch, snag, rip, tear. And I've even noticed like the edges here, where like some clips and stuff are. If I get too close, they like to catch and hang on to that. But I'm not too worried. These are work towels for me, so. All right. So they, guess they really don't want you to reuse it, I guess, because the backing, Velcro backing, peeled right off. All right, and we'll go to a gray surface. But yeah, no, it's very possible. You just probably could be using it on surfaces that aren't as friendly to microfibers. It's very possible. I mean, I guess that technically doesn't mean you couldn't use them, but there we go. On to the 3000 grit. forgetting. I gotta watch my fingers because of that crap that gets on them. Hang on, I'll be right back. Thank you. All right. Had to go. Oh, hang on. Grab All right, back again. So I went ahead. Had to go to the sink. I had to wash my hands with Dawn to get that crap off because I keep wanting to touch the lenses, that crap on my hands, and it leaves spots on it, and I don't want to run into a circumstance to where that film is going to hinder me from getting that clear coat to stay on appropriately. Hey Alex, if you're still on here, have you guys gotten much of that rain and weather from the Debbie storm down there? No, the stuff that was on my hands that you saw, it's like a wax. It's some of the undercoat that sprayed up from the bottom when I had the undercoating done that sprinkled the bottom of the headlights. And when I touch it, because it's with it being that wax, you know how like when you like if you touch a candle while the wax is still melted liquid, you get it on your hands even though you let it dry and you get it off, you still have that like weird oily almost kind of film on your fingers you can feel, or like if you like were coloring with crayons for a long time and your fingers just got that weird oil or something on it. That's what that stuff will leave behind because it is a type of wax that helps repel moisture. But I don't believe it's necessarily toxic. This here is just wet sanding, so this I don't see a problem with this. I wore gloves earlier when I was putting that step 1 on with the oh, what the hell is that stuff called again? I'm trying to remember. The oxidation wipes. Now, I'm not sure what kind of chemical was on that, and it said right on the front of the package that it could irritate the skin, so I did wear the gloves that were supplied. And I've got another set of gloves that it supplied that I will also wear when I go to do the final third step with the clear coat wipes. Yeah, it's like a waterproof because up here, with the harsh winters that we get, they literally dump salt on our roads to help melt and get rid of ice and snow so people can still drive and get places. And over time, if you know any type of chemistry, simple chemistry, salt and metals do not get along. They will cause rust and cause bad rust, especially with some metals worse than others. And for things to rust a lot faster than normal, such as down south vehicles, you really ain't got to worry about it all like that unless you live right on the beach or you're always driving your vehicle, on the beach shore or something. But up here, vehicles rust out easily all the time because of how our weather is, and they put all that salt and chemicals down on the road to help dissolve and break it all up. So I have used this stuff called wool wax as an undercoat. I go to a guy who puts it on for me, and it's just a layer of protection to help shed the moisture and stuff off the hear something rubbing. I don't know what it is. I think I found it. But there's like a bunch of different types of undercoat too that people do up here. Got a little rain today. Yeah, we got some rain today too. Some lightning and thunder and whatnot. Have you guys gotten any severe weather or rain from it at all, or just a little bit? Yeah, they called for severe thunderstorms here today too, and I'm much further north than you are. But there's a few different types of undercoats people will do up here. There's like a tar type that will go on, you mix with water and you spray it on, and then it'll solidify into like a shell, which is, I don't recommend that, because if by chance you do start to have issues and somewhere does start to rust or whatever, or moisture was trapped underneath that coat, then you got a big world of issues, because you won't see it rusting or rusting out because you'll have a shell around it, and before you know it, you're poking your finger through the floorboard, and you won't know it because it creates that shell and it hardens, and visually it will look possibly okay and really not be. As to where this stuff, it's wax, it's malleable, it is hydrophobic, and it's more easier to work on with the mechanic side of things, because it's easier to clean off the bolt. You take a rag and you wipe it real quick, and it comes right off, and it'll clean right off your tools a lot easier too. as to where that tar stuff don't. It'll stick and gunk up your tools, and I just don't like it. And then they have this stuff called bar oil. Some people literally just take like thick oil and just coat the underside of their vehicle with, which I'm would probably rather that than the tar stuff, but I've never used the bar oil, so I can't really speak much on it. I haven't used that undercoat, the tar undercoat. I have applied it to vehicles before, but I would never use it for myself. And so I did this wool wax stuff, and I like it a lot. Especially with this being the type of vehicle it is, not really necessarily trying to knock on it for being a Chevy or anything, but um, typically SUVs and the trucks and, well, cars and everything up here in general will rust out regardless, but definitely some more easily than others. Like my '04 Volvo, I didn't have a speck of rust on that thing anywhere, because I don't know what it is that Sweden, how it is they treat their metal or whatever it is they do to their metal, but they're actually very, very good and resilient with not rusting. Another one is Toyota. They still do and can rust, but they have figured out how to be more resistant to it. And if you take care of your vehicle too with regular car washes and stuff during the winter to try to help get that crap from underneath your vehicle off during the winter, taking it through car washes, that's got the undercarriage jets that will spray your underbody with water, also helps anytime you can clean it and get that stuff off. But and I will say too, not every Volvo is that resilient either, because there was a point in time where Ford did take on Volvo as one of their things. You know, Ford, Volvo, they owned them for a little bit. And when Ford kind of got their motorcrafty stuff on their vehicles in the little bit later 2000s, is when Volvos, you know, you could find more rust problems on them. But once they figured themselves out, got back on their feet or whatever the case was, and just became their own company again, at least to my knowledge, their own company again, uh, they're good vehicles, but they are a, you could call, I guess, a higher end vehicle. So if you don't take care of it and take care of your basic maintenance and just make sure you get a lot of, you know, attention and TLC, as you should all your cars, any car, no matter make or model. I just touched that shit again. Damn it. And it's such an inconvenient spot, because it's literally right there and it's black and you can't see it, but I know it's there. I can see it, and if I'm not thinking before I grab the underside like I'm just prone to do, I'll get it on me. Such as that. And I was just talking about it. You have PTSD trigger with Volvos? Why? Like I said, they can be good cars, and they are if you take care of them appropriately, but if you don't, and they just kind of go down the pothole, then if you can bring them back, great, and keep up on it, great. But if you ain't got the time or money to do it, then they can easily turn into a money pit, which I am thankful for that my black one never did that. It was actually taken out by some guy who ran a red light and smashed my front end. I love that car because it was a 5-speed manual, It was a lot of fun. I do have a white one still, but it's currently in a garage because it starts and runs. It's just it don't drive because the transmission isn't good in it, and the transmission control module, I believe shorted out or something. But if I can figure out how I can come up with the money to get that fixed, it's a solid vehicle and it's ready to rock and roll. It's just the guy who I got it from, he pulled full-size construction trailers with it because at the time it was his only four-wheel or all-wheel drive vehicle in Ohio, and it would do the job. And even though it could do the job, doesn't mean that car was meant to pull full-size construction trailers. So it took a toll on the transmission. Good car though. Just I need to come up with the money to get it fixed and back on the road. I would really like to get it back on the road because I do like those wagons. I am very partial to them for whatever the reason is. That and they do have really good safety ratings and safety features to them as well. Oh no, you're good, Sway. Everybody has their preferences. And like I said, you know, if you got one that wasn't taken care of, or if you get one and don't take care of it with, you know, regular oil change intervals and just the basic maintenance that they need, if you can keep up on the basic stuff consistently, then more than likely they will be fine. But if you neglect them, then that's when they become problematic because they're not meant to be neglected. Now they are pretty hardy in ways to where you'd be surprised the crap you can throw at them and they can dish. You can dish out to them and they can take it. Cause I did it with mine. I beat the piss out of my black one, just because. And it took it, and then I finally got to the point. I was like, you know what? This is a really damn good vehicle. It's literally taken everything I've thrown at it just because of. I don't know why I did. I just did. But I've off-roaded that thing in places that thing should have never have been, and it was perfectly fine. So I'll give it credit where credit is due. But up until the Envoy, I have had very little to no experience with Chevys and upkeep on them or anything, and this is my first, and honestly, you know, and it may just be this vehicle, but I like it. I like this vehicle a lot. It has been a very good vehicle, and it has, see, right there, I just did it again. That's where that shit's at. You can't see it, but it's there. Justin B, what's up, bro? Just in here doing a headlight restoration. I'm on the step 2, the sanding process. This is the other one I haven't gotten started on yet. Well, it's got step 1 done. I just haven't done the sanding portion to it. Hey, Nabob, what's up? I'm glad to see some of you guys popping in. Nabob, are you a mod on Joe's channel? I'm thinking you are. That's what I thought. pretty much the same thing applies here on this channel. Not that my channel is big enough for people to come in on their weird crap, but same thing applies. No religion, no politics, no whack shit. The normal whack shit's fine, but not like people being weird and whatnot. But show you guys what this looks like after the 3000 grit, so you get an idea right here. Because if the 3000 grit's already helped clear it up a lot, I think I might run it over a little bit more on it. But this is where we are currently at with the 3000 grit. Well, normal weird stuff is fine, Nabob. You know, kind of like Joe's guidelines. No religion, no politics. Just looking to have a good conversation, good time, good crowd, good people. That type of stuff. I would say our type of weird is perfectly fine and acceptable. But that is where we're at currently with the 3000 grit. See how good it looks? And then that clear coat will help shine it over. And that's just the first step. I haven't even touched it, but you can see the big difference. I think we're going to be super glad we did this. Oh, and to top it off, guys, right here behind me, I got me some of these nice little crown jewels. AutoZone specials, LOL. But yeah, I'm gonna put some LEDs in it after I finish it up. So what we are doing, Nabob, is headlight restoration. Earlier, if you wanted to go back and watch the whole thing or not, it's up to you. I had a live going earlier today with step 1. I used the step 1 pads to get rid of the, well, this doesn't have all the yellowing on it, but the oxidation layer that some of these headlights will develop over years, because my vehicle's an 05, so it's 20 years old. 19 years old. Close enough. Something like that. So I doubt anybody's ever has cleaned or tried to keep up with these headlights in those years. So I'm doing it now in hopes to keep up with it. So I did the oxidation wipes, got the oxidation off earlier in a live today. But then we had to take a break for food because I and the wifey was hungry. And so now I'm doing step 2, which is sanding it down, starting with the 2000 grit and then moving on to the 3000 grit. And after that, they're outside. I have to go grab them off the porch, but I've got a Cerakote ceramic wipe that they give you to clear coat the lenses, and you're supposed to let them dry for an hour at least before you can like drive around on them. And we currently have a lot of rain going on, so we're not planning on really going anywhere tonight other than to take one of our kids down to the gym, but we're going to let these dry for at least an hour before running him down. Well, I appreciate that, Nabob. If you guys haven't yet, go up and give the thumbs up a smash, because, you know, if you attended any channels or Joe's, you know it helps us out. My channel's still small. It's not big. Nothing special. I'm trying to grow it. And if I haven't, I'd have to go back and check. I don't know if I've gained any more followers today, But last I checked, from all you guys from Joe's channel that was helping me out and giving my channel a follow, you guys are the reason I'm able to do lives now. So I appreciate you guys much for doing that. But I reached my goal and then realized I actually succeeded my goal. And last I knew, I had 60 followers, and I'm hoping to grow that tremendously. But and then so the instructions for wet sanding this is to, what time is it here?
11:26.
11:26, going on 11:30. And what I'm doing here, because it says not to do circular motions, it just says, what was the word it used? Uniform non-circular motions. So that's what we're doing. Uniform non-circular motions. And then also keeping the lens very moist in the process. I wonder how many Karens are going to see that and trigger. I appreciate that, Nabob. Moist. You're good. If you can get by, you should be fine. How much are you into refurb? Like, how much did I spend on this kit? If that's what you're asking there, Justin B. I looked on the receipt earlier and it was 16 something dollars. Joe asked earlier, so just under 20 bucks. And it comes with 6 step 1 prep pads with getting rid of the haze. But it's weird because I was explaining to them earlier that I ran into this thing where the instructional video said use 4 pads per lens as step 1, and it only came with 6. So I don't know if they realized 3 was good enough with the kit that I have, or if their instructional video is updated or old. I don't know, but I only had 6 wipes, so I did 3 per light, and it worked out pretty well. I was going to call it good enough with 2 on the first light that I started on, which I could have done because I wound up doing all 3 on each anyways, and I didn't pull much more haze off of it, so it was good with 2. But they weren't bad or that atrocious, as to some of them get really bad. But it's not a bad price, but I don't know if the kit's necessarily meant for 2 or if the kit's geared for 1 light each. So I don't know if technically I'm supposed to have 2 kits to do 2 lights, or maybe I was gypped 2 of those pads. I don't know. It's just one of my observations I had when I looked at it. But so far, from what I can tell, it's worked out great, so can't complain. Oh, nice. Yeah, mine's, let's see, it's past my mid back. I'm say probably a little bit just above my waist. How long you say my hair was, I don't know exactly.
Pretty long.
It is pretty long. I mean,
Goes down to the middle of your back.
yeah, I think it goes just past the middle of my back. But yeah, it's so luscious. Yeah, it's one of those things that just kind of happened because I used to keep my hair cut short most of the time once it got kind of shaggy. But I always talked about wanting to grow it out, just to have it grown out one time and then donate it. And then so it just happened. I just started growing it. It wasn't necessarily planned. It just was one of those things that just kind of happened. So I've been growing it for how long have I been growing it? Has it been 3 years now, or close to 3 years?
It's been like 3 years now.
Yeah, it's been like 3 years or close to 3 years.
I think after we did that modeling shoot, that was in 2021, I think that's when kind of you missed like a haircut or something and just kind of went with it.
Yeah. Me and my wife went and got some professional modeling pictures done. On June? Was it in June?
It was June of 21,
Yeah, June of 21. And I got my hair cut way back then for that, and then I haven't cut it since. Yeah, I want to donate it once I do go to cut it, but I want to grow it out long enough to where once I go to cut it, I can have it cut into a mullet. So I want to rock a mullet, at least for a little bit, and then I'll probably cut it off. There would be serious repercussions if you ever had a mullet. Your wife won't let you have one. Try not to touch that underside because it's got junk on it. I'm not trying to get all over me. Nay, boy, you mean nabob? Oh, that's the funny part is I do like some Billy Ray Cyrus songs. Haven't listened to any in a while, but I have had my days of listening to him. You like Molly Cyrus? What was loud? Was something I did loud? Oh, my Discord notification. Oh, sorry, guys. I apologize. There. Problem solved. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think Chris added everyone or something. I think I saw it pop up. Or under announcements or something. Something's under announcements, I think. So what's everybody up to tonight? Other than watching me. Legend of Zelda. That sounds interesting. Like watching me demolish bad guys on my game. Yeah, I like to play Assassin's Creed. So technically, I finished Assassin's Creed Odyssey story, anyways. But there is still a lot more yet to be done with that game. But I have completed the story on it. Where is that? Okay, I think I need to wipe it down. I think I'm starting to build up some particles on the lens. I can hear it rubbing. And I would say, if anything, too, maybe watch out for that as a recommendation for anybody who goes to do this. And the instructions, too. I've said it a couple times earlier, but I'll say it again just for those of you guys. Nay, Bob. But you'll see I'm going out of probably a little bit more than what they say, because they say to sand with each pad, do the 200 and then go to the 300 for 2 to 3 minutes each. I'm just trying to make sure I got a really good surface on these things, because like I said, they've never have been touched probably their entire life. So I'm just trying to make sure I got a really good, clean, new surface to clear coat. See, there it is again. I don't know what it is or where it's at, but I heard it. Oh, found it. And I'm not applying a lot of pressure either. I'm literally, you just part weight of my hand, not my entire arm, but literally like the weight of my hand on it, and just using that and sanding it that way. So I'm not applying a lot of force at all. You see the two, I'm using just minimal fingers. And sometimes a lot of people, when they sand, it's natural to want to scrub the crap out of something, because when you're sanding something, that's typically is what you would do, but not in this case, because you're just looking to essentially polish the surface. So you don't need to apply a crap ton of force. What's Discord saying? Are you saying we need to check Discord, Sway, or are you just talking about something else? I make you feel unproductive now? Oh, Justin B. Got my flashlight. If you look on the Discord, I posted a picture of it attached to my FNX. Da 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 da. All right. There it is. That is the 3000 grit. You can go ahead and dry it off so you guys kind of see what the dry lens looks like. Now, it will look a little cloudy or foggy after I dry it off right now. But that's where the other stuff comes in handy. The last step, the clear coat. But this light, I will say and believe, is finished. Just waiting the clear coat. I'm Deagle on Discord. What do you think? It's just playing me? Yeah, I actually had an older buddy of mine reach out to me because he saw my Facebook post of me putting a link up on my Facebook for anybody from there to come over and join if they wanted. He reached out through message and told me that, well, they talked about it. Chris mentioned it, I think, earlier too when I was doing the step ones about toothpaste, and I have never used the toothpaste method, so I don't know. But I had a buddy who reached out to me that said he would recommend using buffing compound and buff it out, and it will last longer because essentially it's doing the same thing as it's resurfacing it, but a buffer can work a lot faster with a lot finer grit to polish quicker. Essentially, is doing the same thing. But he also said he's also has used bug repellent because I think the chemical in it, the DEET, I think, don't hold me to that, don't quote me on that, but whatever the chemical is in there actually gets rid of the oxidation. I guess maybe dissolves a little bit of the top layer to where you can wipe it clean and wipe it off. But he said it works, but it doesn't last as long as buffing it. All right. Well, see, that one peeled right off. The other one peeled off in shreds. All right, starting over again with the other lens now. I'm gonna go ahead and top my water off real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, you know, I've actually have heard about that. I've never seen it happen or have had it happen to me. But there is some cars where the headlights do come out fairly easily. And if you have a right tool made that you can reach underneath the hood and slide up a couple of things, like Porsche, I know, and old Volvos. Well, I won't say old Volvos because I don't know if the new ones still do it or not. But some Volvos, there's two little tabs you just pull up, and that whole lens can slide right out, and you just unplug everything from the back, and off you can go with the headlight. But yeah, I have heard that. Yeah, that's why I mentioned Porsche, because I think it. I don't know all Porsches, but I know for sure I have seen articles like on the Porsche SUVs, whatever they call them. Uh, oh, don't go circles. Had to remind myself again. Um, the Porsche SUVs, people would steal them off of there and go resell them and make a killing off of them. Yeah, if you guys can look here, you can see the grime coming off. And that's just getting started on the new one with the 2000 grit. I don't know if the camera does it much justice, but you can just see the haze and grit coming off. And during this step, I don't know if it requires it or tells you, but I try to wipe it off. Alex, what truck do you have again? Oh, wow. Yeah, that'd probably be why they would steal them. Oh, you 94 F-150. That's right. I remember that. Now that you said it. All right, Nate Bob. You take care. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. And before you go, if you haven't, go up there and give me that thumbs up if you don't mind, to help me start growing my channel out a little bit. Or help growing the channel out. I guess, sure. That's pretty cool of him. He said he's going to bed, but he's going to leave the stream going for me to help with the watch hours. He's just going to let it run while he goes to bed. Because the watch time also too helps. That's what Joe was saying earlier. I may not be able to necessarily earn money just yet, but the watch hours will help a lot too to help get there. What's from a movie? What's a quote from a movie? Is it something I said? If you haven't yet, for those of you interested, the new movie Twister and the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, it was good. The wife and I went to the drive-in to see it, and it was awesome. The drive-in setting was I love the drive-in setting to watch a movie a lot better than theaters. I think it's just more convenient just to chill in your car, be around your people. You don't have to be next to everybody and their mother. I wish YouTube wasn't so finicky about playing music while you do stuff or stream. That's one of my favorite things to do while I'm working on stuff and doing stuff is just to play music and just chill, relax, jam, whatever. Wherever the music takes you. Yeah, I agree. That and two, not that I sometimes don't appreciate the sound system, and I guess the theaters like are known for the big boomy speakers and bass and everything. That's great and all sometimes, but sometimes it's just too much. And the wife and I actually went to the theaters to watch the new Mad Max that's out. And it was a good movie and all, but it was loud. And we think our little man was kind of protesting to all the noise vibration that was going on. Because if anybody knows anything about Mad Max, it's all about motors and explosions and stuff. So it was a loud, rowdy movie. And the wife and I were talking if we were to ever go see a movie. The drive-in is probably like the best all-around way to do it. The only downfall is to it sometimes it just carries on real late at night. Because the drive-in we have up here is $10 per person, and you get 2 movies. It's whatever movies they have playing that night, and that night we went happened to be Twister first, and then Deadpool and Wolverine. And sitting from the comfort of your vehicle to where you can control the volume, keep it loud, keep it softer, whatever it is you needed to do, or to be comfortable and just sit there and chill and watch the movie. We got like second or third row parking, so we got great parking spots, and we just hung out, watched the movie, and just had a good time. Um, I know Bose is a good speaker system, but I don't know much about their uh, headphones or anything. But um, I use Skull Candy a lot. I'm trying to remember one other brand that's going around right now that a lot of people are liking. Junkyard Digs like to advertise them. I'm trying to remember what that. what they're called. I can't remember right off the top of my head at the moment. So here's what it looks like after the 2000 grit. Well, I knew somebody who had a Bose Bluetooth speaker, and it sounded great. It had awesome sound quality. It was amazing, and it worked great. I just have never used any of their headphone stuff, so I don't know. I don't know a whole lot about that for Bose. But I use a lot of Skull Candy. That's actually probably all I have right now too, is Skull Candy. I have these currently as my, even had them, I think I'd even listened to them when I was shoveling snow, and they work great, durable. Well, that makes sense. So I think this step's just about pretty much complete here. I think I'm going to go over it just for a couple more times, a couple more minutes on this particular pad. Then I'm going to switch over to the 300 grit. Or 3000 grit, my bad. Raycon, I think is what it is. There's a guy that I watch, Junkyard Digs, and I haven't personally used them, but I've seen a lot of people review them and have their YouTube channel sponsored by them. A guy I watch a lot is Junkyard Digs, and Raycon is the brand he loves, and from what I see and know about them, they also seem really good. So that would probably be worth the worthy search too to look into. I believe they're called Raycons, and I don't know if they do well, I don't know if you're talking about like over the head ones or if you're talking about like earbud ones, but they are earbuds, and from what I've seen about them, they're really good. Yeah, I know Donut Operator approves of them too. Yeah, so give them a both look at it and so you just see what best will fit what you're looking for there, Sway. I've wouldn't necessarily call myself a die-hard Skull Candy fan, but that's just the brand I've always stuck with. But I'm always open to whatever's good, really. I mean, if it means anything, honestly, I had my mom's friend had a pair of Beats, and I didn't like them. I know people rave about them, and I know a lot of people like them. I don't understand why, because me personally, I did not like Beats. They weren't my thing. I would literally choose Skull Candy over Beats any day, anytime. And I know people rave about Beats, so I mean, I guess just find what's best for you. But I personally even choose Skull Candy over Beats. How about you, Alex? What do you prefer headphone wise or earbud wise? If you're still on here. I don't know if you're still on here or not. So, between your headphones from Amazon that you have currently and Skull Candy, do you have a preference between the two, or either or is good enough for you? Oh, had to stop using earbuds because you kept losing them. Yeah, actually, I have earbuds, and I do have a set of over-the-ear headphones from Skull Candy. Like I said, I've always used Skull Candy. I've always found them to be a good product. I even used to have a Bluetooth speaker from them that was what they call rated for party fouls. The thing apparently could be chucked into a pool and you could get it out and dry it off, and it was just fine. It was waterproof, and it could pump some music. It was literally about the size of like a little red brick. Like literally, it was about that size and it had two speakers on it, but it would pump some noise. I was very impressed with it. My sister currently has it. I gave it to her because I kind of really got to the point where I didn't use it as much as I used to. Like when I was working like on job sites and stuff, I would probably use it the most. But I don't currently do work like that. And then if I am outside, I do have a radio outside, my work radio that I will turn on and listen to. Or I could even plug my phone into it and then play whatever music selection I want off of it. Yeah. And if you like over the ear headphones, Skull Candy, I know for sure has those too. So if that's what you're looking for, Raycon might. I don't know. I like I said, I've never shopped for a Raycon. I just have seen a lot of really good stuff about them, so I know people really like them. And from what I've seen about them, I have no reason to not think they're not worthy of the try. If I ever got to the point of getting some, I probably would at least try them once and see. So if that's what you prefer is over the ear headphones, then Skull Candy I know for sure has them. All right. These ones actually are one of the simple ones to put in, actually. If you saw from earlier, I have one of the ones that's got the tabs that can pop right up. And the whole face of it comes right out. Super awesome, super convenient, easy. Alright, going on to the last and final pad. Okay, so maybe it's just this particular grit, because this one's doing it too. Where the layers separate the Velcro layers off the pad. Something. Whatever. But here's where we're at with the 2000 grit on the last and final light. And now we'll just start it all again. Got to get me to buy another kit. What do you mean, got to get me to buy another kit? Or did I have to buy another kit? If that's what you're asking, no. Oh, well, it gives you two of each pad. So I've got two gray ones, which is the 3000, and I got two of the red ones, which is the 2000. And each of those, both, for whatever the reason is, after I got done sanding, I went to go peel them off of my block here. It just came apart. Now, this one didn't. For whatever the reason, the 3000 grit, it did not separate. Like, once this dries out, or even before it dries out, I could probably just, wanted to, if I could probably slap that back on there if I needed to use it again. But yeah, no, thankfully, they came with two of each pad, so I did not have to get another kit. What's it? Oh. Yeah, I was going to try the porch, but it's obviously one not as well lit as the room here is. And it was raining. It was kind of loud out there. I was kind of debating whether if I was going to do it in here or out there. But I think I made a good call by doing it in here because it does help that you can see a lot better in here with doing this, so you can kind of see what you're doing. Alex, have you ever played any of the Assassin's Creed? Oh, you haven't though, but you say they look fun. I'm working on finishing up Odyssey, and then I have Valhalla, and then Syndicate that I'm start on at some point. I didn't want to start on them right away because I wanted to get through the one I was already playing, the Odyssey. It kind of reminds me of air hockey. You ever play COD Mobile? Sway. I used to play on the PlayStation. In fact, I think I still have Call of Duty World War II, and that was the last one I was really into when I was playing it last on the PlayStation. And then I got into mobile for a little bit, and then the gaming phone that I actually had decided to shit the bed from Red Magic, which is a shame because I did like that phone a lot, but the customer service, I'm kind of with them as Joe is with T-Sauce. I'm not very happy with them because the phone wasn't old. I hadn't had it long, and I went to go plug it in and came back. The screen was black, couldn't get to go on. I tried booting it up through safety mode. It would only get so far and then still get stuck, and then go to that to where it sometimes would show the boot up logo where it would say Red Magic. Hey, you'll see it for sometimes a few seconds, couple minutes, and then the screen would go black, and then it would try to do that. If you, as long as you had it plugged in, it would keep doing that cycle. But as soon as you try to unplug it to power it on or anything, it wouldn't respond to anything at all. And the most you could get it to respond to doing anything as long as it was plugged in. But I never got it to successfully boot up. I still have it. I would like to sell it maybe if somebody be able to give me at least a decent amount of money for it because it wasn't a cheap phone. But with it not in working order, I know people aren't going to want to pay a whole lot for it. And if I could figure out what the problem was, I'm assuming probably motherboard. There you go, Justin B. You're actually going. Where are you at? Where are you located? If you don't mind me asking. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I know that area. I used to live in Florida. Justin B's going to go to the drive-in and watch Twister and Deadpool tomorrow night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's located in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that's the best way to do it is to watch it at a drive-in. Like I said, it's not like that I don't like the theaters. I do to a point, but sometimes it's just obnoxious with the crowd and stuff that's always there. As to where you can just kind of chill and keep to yourself at a drive-in. Stay in your car, do your own thing, bring your own snacks. You don't have to worry about people trying to take your snacks or drinks that you want to bring in. I mean, shoot, I think the drive-in we were at, well, they had a snack bar. You can go in there, buy your own snacks. I don't know if they sold alcohol beverages, but that's not to say you couldn't bring your own if that's what you like or do. I don't recall seeing anything against the guidelines there. But yeah, you can bring your own snacks, drinks, food. And go through Texas Roadhouse or something before going out. Take a nice steak dinner with you. Yeah, I would definitely still consider myself a small town kind of boy. I don't like big cities. I don't like big crowds. And especially just people nowadays. I just like to steer clear and just kind of just keep to myself anymore. And me and my wife are both that way. Dealing with people in general anymore is they're whack. Yeah. Well, Alex knows the area I grew up in, out in the country. I mean, we had neighbors, but they weren't like nut to butt like the city is. Kind of had your own area, your own privacy. You really didn't have to worry about a whole lot out there. It was nice. And me and wife have talked about wanting to find some nice property and if we have to move a trailer out onto it while we save up for our log cabin kit or something and just build a nice little cabin out on some property to where the only neighbors you have is just animals. Because anymore nowadays, the type of animals people act like, you'd rather be around the wild animals because they act better than most people anymore. Yeah, I love the trees. Where I was at there in Georgia, we had a crap ton of pine trees everywhere. And not to mention, have you ever heard the country songs talking about the Chattahoochee? Well, I literally had the Chattahoochee across the street in the woods. There's a guy back there that owns some property. You could literally walk through the woods and get to one of the branch offs of the Chattahoochee back there. You tell me, baby. You ever heard that song "Way Down Yonder in the Chattahoochee"? Oh, it is. It's absolutely gorgeous down there. There, Tennessee. Tennessee's beautiful too. I'd even, if I ever got the chance one day, even move back to Tennessee. Tennessee's gorgeous. I love Tennessee. Mom. Yeah. Mom. Yep, there you go. That's where the kids go swimming in the summer. That and West Point Lake. Is that still a branch off the Chattahoochee, a part of the Chattahoochee? Trying to remember. Because I know West Point is big. West Point. I remember West Point being really big. That or what's that little beach they have down there called Yellow Jacket? You guys still, is Yellow Jacket Beach still a thing down there? That's what I want to do. I want to start me a small garden one of these days. If we had some land, I could do a greenhouse and I could have stuff going all year long. Because up here, your growing season for stuff is very short. The winter's too harsh to grow stuff out in the open during the winter. Alex, is Yellow Jacket still a thing down there? Off of West Point somewhere, or at West Point somewhere? Yellow Jacket Lake or beach or whatever it's called? Or Brush Creek. Brush Creek is right up the road from my place in Georgia, Brush Creek Park. Do you ever still go there at all? How about Brush Creek Park? Is that still there? It's that one on Beavis Road that we would go to sometimes with the Pathfinder group. I would imagine it's still there. I don't know where it would go. It's still there. Have you been there recently at all, Alex? I remember I used to ride my bike down there a lot. You haven't been in a while. If you ever got time, Alex, you should tune in to Joe's, the guy who came in that had the title is The Jiminy Show. He goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 until he pretty much ends, usually between 12, 1 o'clock, depending on the day or whatever. But it's a really cool stream. He talks about firearms and cars, computers. I mean, well, not just that. Pretty much wherever the conversation takes you. But a lot of these people you see in the group chat here, that's where they're from. And we have a Discord channel you could also join if you're interested. But I think you would probably find it interesting, the conversations that come up. All right, we'll give her a really good spray down and dry off and see what it is looking like. If you go to your YouTube or if you have something you can look it up on, it's called The Jiminy Show. All ran together, all spelled together, The Jiminy Show. If you need me to, I could probably get you over a link here in a little bit. But I could also get you a link to join the Discord if you're interested. Oh, yep, there you go. Justin B just posted it there for you. So, wow, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday is when he goes lives at 7, unless something comes up, obviously. But he starts at 7, goes until about 12, 1 o'clock usually. But mainly just depending on the day or how he's feeling or whatever. But there's a lot of good conversation that happens, and a lot of funny conversation too. I enjoy listening to him and interacting. Actually, I'm a moderator on his channel, and a lot of these guys that I have as a moderator here are also moderators on his channel. All right, let's dry her up. Here's what they look like currently. And then here's the one I just finished up. And now we'll just be putting the final coat on. Give them a second to kind of dry. They say to make sure it is absolutely very dry. Once going to this step. So while it's doing that, I'm gonna get some of this here cleaned up. Honk. Oof. Badoof, badoof, boop, boop. Alright, here's the last and final step. And I do have my gloves. And we are going to wipe these lenses a couple more times with a dry cloth to make sure they are absolutely dry. You hot? I thought I felt a little warm myself. I kicked that up to medium.
You got all your clothes on.
That's true. All right. Well, if you can pop in, you can pop in whenever. That's fine. It was there for in case you're ever interested. All right. Let's make sure these puppies are dry. Look at a little side-by-side comparison looking. They look really good. Oh, they're like Crocs, but they're called Sharks. And I found some as of literally today that literally have sharks on it. They did it for Shark Week. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm going to get those. So, yeah, they're my indoor shoes. They're literally called Sharks. That's what the brand of them are. The Rugged Shark. The Walmart special. All right, and so for applying these last wipes, it's one wipe per lens, and when you do it in straight across motions all the way across the light, straight across, and then when you do it, you overlap 50% on each wipe, and you only do it once, all the way till you get to the bottom of the light, and then that's it. Don't touch it, don't look at it, let it dry. Well, look at it, but don't touch it. Don't touch that black shit. But yeah, so we're gonna wipe these with 2 really dry rags to ensure that they are absolutely as dry as possible. Which I didn't really use a crap ton of water, just enough to keep it moist while sanding, so making sure it's super dry isn't a big task. You just take your fancy little microfiber, just wipe it really good, set it to the side, same thing. And then once those are on, you let them sit for at least 60 minutes is what it says. The minimum being 60 minutes. And step 3, put on the second pair of clean gloves and open one of the Cerakote ceramic clear coat wipes, moving horizontally from top to bottom. Carefully wipe the coating in a single direction. Apply using a 50% overlapping technique. Apply only a single coat. Repeat this process with the second wipe on the other headlight. Allow Cerakote ceramic clear coat to dry for a minimum of 60 minutes before driving or exposing them to any moisture. Note, if the clear coat gets on paint, don't worry, just wipe it off immediately with a clean, dry towel. That's it. You okay?
I just don't. No.
Here we go. Dry as gonna get. Alright. Now everybody bend over. We're going to check everybody's enema, or what is that called?
Prostate.
Prostate. We're doing prostate exams. Drop the drawers, turn around. No, I wouldn't do that. But here's the step 3. Free exams. That's right, Justin. Be free. Absolutely free. If I'm not changing gloves, you're first. All right, who's second? I don't recommend sniffing stuff, but I'm doing it for you guys. It don't smell great. But then from top to bottom, wipe straight across, overlapping about 50% on every wipe. And there it is. That's the fifth. That's the last step. Look how shiny that got. All right. And they say only use one per headlight. Describe the smell with colors. That's a good one. I would have to describe that as not quite like a neon yellow, but just kind of like that toxic bright yellow. Not neon green, because then I would probably rate that as muriatic acid or something. But we're not that bad. But it's supposed to, technically, when you test something, it's supposed to waft, I guess. It just smells chemically-ish. I don't know really how to describe it. I was going to go with paint thinner, but I don't see a resemblance in that. Yeah, kind of like a danger yellow. Kind of not something you want to go and sit there and like sniff the package. It's not one of them type of things. All right. So, I'll give you guys an idea before I do the last one. Here's what this one looks like currently. And then I'll show you what it will look like after step 3. All right. And there is the aftermath. This is what it looks like now. Look how shiny that is. What time are we at? 1:15. So an hour from now is when they should be technically good to be put on the road. But to give you guys an idea of where I kind of maybe rate this kit, I would probably give it, as of right now, with the clarity I see, with what I known them to be prior to this, a 10 out of a 10. Yeah. Oh, you could do it, Sway. I'm confident that anyone could really do this. It's just one of those things, take your time. If you have to, watch a couple of instructional videos. There comes with a card of instructions on what to do. They have a video on their website to talk you through it as they show you how to do it. But yeah, I'm confident anybody could do it. Like I said, I probably took a little more time than what most probably would have on these. One, because I kind of had to stop in the middle of it to go eat, or I would have been done a lot sooner. But I just wanted to make sure I got a really good surface on it, because I knew these lights probably were never touched, polished wise, probably ever in their life. So I just wanted to make sure I had a really good layer that I can upkeep on for the future, up until I actually wind up replacing these lights. I found good replacement lights on Amazon that I want, and they're literally identical. The only difference is not the inner part where the lights are inside there, but like off to the side here where you see it's silver, it's blacked out. It's black. The lens is still clear, but it's blacked out where you see the chrome look here. And that is what I will be doing at some point. So, but until then, I needed some good headlights, because it got to the point to where the haze was kind of like obstructing the light beam to where you didn't have like good visual of the light coming out. I mean, you could still see the road. Don't get me wrong. It was not like you're driving blind, but you could see and know it could be a lot better. Let's put it that way. But yeah, well, that sums it up, guys. I will definitely get some pictures for you guys tomorrow or something, and probably post it to the YouTubes here or something, or to the Discord for everybody that's part of the Discord, just so you guys can see it. So an hour from now is when I'll be putting them back on the truck. Or maybe tomorrow morning, depending on how everybody's feeling at that point. But hey, night, Justin B. Thanks for tagging along and riding this out with us. I appreciate you. For in case you didn't see, or anybody that wasn't looking, here you go. Here's the passenger side headlight. This is the finished product. Here is the driver's side finished product. And once those sit for an hour, they will be ready to go back in. And just before I pop them in, I'll be putting these on. I'll put some LEDs on it. Nothing extremely fancy, but it's just what I wanted to do. But all right, everybody. Hey, thanks for everybody who tuned in. Thanks for helping me with my channel and whatnot. And hopefully you guys learned some stuff. And great conversation. With that being said, I am going to get cleaned up and wrap some stuff down. And all you lovely people, have a great night. Love all you guys. Stay tuned for the next one at some point. You guys are very welcome. Have a good one. Adios. Good